Hi all, please take a support to come and sit on. I've taken my bricks for today, and come and cross your legs in Svastikasana. Taking the feet towards the knees, and for today, just flex your feet. So make the outer edges of your feet sharp onto the floor and then soften somewhat. So there's a sense of just sitting onto the outer edges of the feet and leaning forward, withdraw the buttock flesh and have a sense of just softening the soles of the feet and the toes, but yet you're still onto the length of the outer edge of the foot. Bring your palms into Atmanjali Mudra. Recalling the shoulder work that we did earlier on in the week. Broaden the shoulders away from the ears and relax the shoulders, the shoulder blades broadly down the back body. Feel that space in the lower back ribs, so that as you ease the lower side ribs back, you can broaden and spread the lower front ribs as if settling this area towards the back ribs, and the back ribs subtly moving into the body. So besides stabilizing the feet, the legs, the pelvic girdle and the buttocks into the base, there's a sense of inner space and stability to the chest area and the shoulders, so that from that stability, the neck can ease upwards and the base of the skull soften and feel as if it's floating above the support of this sadhana, this instrument of the body. Soften the tongue into the floor of the mouth. Soften the eyes to that space in the back and the base of the skull. Soften the inner channels of the ears, allowing them to melt inwards and down. Soften the breath. That it becomes smooth and subtle as it flows in and flows out of this sadhana. Totally unconditional, unrestricted breathing. No need to change or modify it in any way. Allowing it to be as it is for today. Bow your head to your heart and make your own inner acknowledgement as you come into your body, into this space for your practice today. Knowing the sense of gratitude that you have given yourself this time, this space to do your practice, that you can be fully immersed in it with no distractions, being present, embodied in this sadhana of this instrument of the body for the next hour or so. Press the back of the hands onto the inner knees. Raise your head, open your eyes. Come off your support, and if you've been sitting on something other than your brick, take one of your bricks, and this practice is going to be mainly focused on inversions, particularly headstand, shoulder stand. So for those of you that are menstruating, this would be a practice that you might have to delay for a while. Those of you with eye problems that are not allowed to go into inversions, or uncontrolled high blood pressure, hypertension for the moment, please be aware that this is a practice that you should for the moment avoid. Guruji used to say that high blood pressure, hypertension, that has been controlled medically for 2 years or more, he has said, then your blood pressure has been brought back to normal because it is in control. So this practice would then be able to be done by you, but please on a reserved basis. But people with things like glaucoma, pressure in the eyes, I'm trying to think of some of the others, but whatever the eye problems, please don't do this practice. And also, as I said, for those of you that are menstruating, this is to be avoided. So, like we did, and some of you might have done the practice earlier in the week, some of you might not, so we're just going to repeat one of the poses for the shoulder action to get some action and openness into the shoulders. Come and lie, legs bent, feet together. And from there, have your brick handy, roll the inner upper arms out and press your outer shoulder heads into the floor. So as much as you lengthen the inner arm to the fingertips, you want to draw from your outer elbows to retract the shoulder into the shoulder joint. So the shoulders press down, the outer shoulder blades, these back ribs and lower side ribs rest down, as does the lumbar. With the legs bent, you can get the lumbar to deepen into the mat. The legs straight, they go back, it goes back to its natural curve. So legs are bent. Press the shoulders, the outer shoulder blades into the floor. Feel how the inner lower shoulder blades move into the back. So the practice earlier in the week is very good for our inversion awareness. Then from there, take the brick, putting it onto the heel of the palm. So inner arms extend, outer upper arms draw back into the shoulder socket. Squeeze your brick, squeeze your outer upper arms to the bone, and keeping those lower side ribs moving back, lumbar back. Start to stretch your inner arms away from you, taking your arms up and over your head. Check, is the head in neutral? Tongue passive. Lower jaw passive. Reach the inner upper arms away from you. Squeeze the outer upper arms to the bone. So inner upper arms, move the arms down to the floor. The outer upper arms almost want to resist that. Have your brick a little ways away from the floor. If you can't go that far, that's fine. But just be aware of where you are, where the trunk remains in neutral, and the arms, the shoulders move around that stability of the trunk. What's happened to the tongue? Rest the tongue into the floor of the mouth. Inner walls of the throat, spacious, open for the breath to flow. Squeezing the brick. Squeeze the outer upper arms to the bone. Inner upper arms roll down to the floor and grip the bone as well. And then squeezing the brick, bring the arms up. Release your brick and just rest the shoulders down. Heavy shoulders. So collarbones are broad, inflating to roll down, and the shoulders, the shoulder blades move firmly along the back body. The upper buttocks move towards the heels. So the front body has a tendency to move up, back and up the front body, and the back body moves broadly down the back towards the buttocks, the heels. From there, come up, roll over to the side, and come up. Put your bricks out of the way, and from there, once more, come standing. We did this the other day as well. So we're going to begin by standing feet apart. Have your brick. I'm going to kneel once more for this because of the arms going up. So please be in Tadasana with your feet apart. So squeeze the brick. I'm going to demonstrate sideways. As much as we extend the inner arm away towards the fingertips, the outer upper arms draw back to bring the shoulders into the shoulder socket. So there's those shoulders onto the floor, the outer shoulder blades onto the floor, but this area deep into the back to lift and spread the sternum. So from there, you're standing in Tadasana. Retract the upper arms into the shoulder socket. Squeeze the brick. Squeeze your outer upper arms to the bone and bring your arms up. Lock your elbows. Inner upper arms stretch to the fingertips. Side ribs ease back. Lower front ribs spread to those lower back ribs. Lumbar spine spreads back into its natural curve, allowing space for the abdomen to move into its right forward position. Squeeze with your outer upper arms the brick. And from there, bring forward and down. Come stand with your feet well apart. And for today, have your heels on the back edge of your mat. Parallel your outer feet. So the outer feet parallel to the edge of your mat. Firming up your legs. Press all 4 points of the feet down into the mat. And being there, for today, I want to subtly change the action. Yes, you've got those 4 points, but for today, I'm going to keep referring to the mound of the big toe, this space between the ball of the little toe and that head of the heel bone. So this space here, and then the inner heel. So it's like you've almost got a triangle type of space. The ball mound of the big toe, this area here, and pressing into the inner heel. So when you stand into Prasarita Padottanasana, can you do that? Press more into the mound of the big toe, the inner heel, and then lengthen that outer foot and press it down. So it's like you're making space between the ball mound of the little toe and the outer heel, and you're pressing it down. So visualize almost a triangular action. And from there, firming up the legs, inner thighs to outer thighs in. Lengthen your upper buttocks and stretch your arms forward. Same thing here, like we do in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Root down through the index finger, inner upper arm, like that brick. Roll up and out, outer upper arm, grips to the bone. Keeping that action in the upper arms, bend your elbows and take your hands so that the heel of the palm at the back edge of your mat, and bring your head down for Prasarita Padottanasana 1. Make an equilateral triangle with your hands and your head, and equalize the pressure between your hands and your head and your feet. So feel which is pressing more. Left foot, right hand, your head. Can you equalize that? Now, press a little more into the whole of the hand, especially the root of the index finger. Settle onto the center of the crown of the head, pressing into that outer foot that I demonstrated. From there, lift the legs and come up into Shirshasana 2. Outer upper arms squeeze to the arm bone. Upper arms into the shoulder socket. Breathe. Press the mound of the big toe, the inner heel, that outer foot up. And from there, stretching through that outer foot, come down. Be back in Prasarita Padottanasana. From there, stretch the arms forward. And from there, take your hands under your shoulders, step the feet towards each other, and come up. So that's a practice you can do, coming up and down, or staying. Just don't have enough time. From there, set yourself up for Shirshasana 1. So fold your sticky mat in 4. And from there, just come and place your hands down. I'm demonstrating sideways today. Outer elbow in line with the shoulder and the palms turned up and out. So here the same action is that inner upper arm rotating out and the outer upper arm gripping the bone. So you want to feel as if the outer elbows are pressing down and moving towards each other in a way. So it's like the outer elbows pressing down will already lift your shoulders, lift your trapezius for you. From there, turn your palms towards each other and stretch the little finger side of your hand away from your outer elbow point. So that as you do that, the whole of this outer wrist and the cutting edge of your outer hand come to the floor. You might find that your inner wrist is slightly inverted. That's fine for the moment. Interlock your fingers and firmly interlock your index finger. It's like you make a little lock with your index finger so the energy flows from this elbow through that index finger to the opposite elbow. It's like you're making a closed circuit. Press from your inner through your outer wrist down, and from there, come up and place your head just in front of your hands, like a finger's width. And now from there, squeeze your outer upper arms to the bone. Root down through your outer elbow. Spread your collarbone, spread your shoulder blades, spread your shoulders, and lift them up as you press your outer wrists down. Come onto your tippy toes. So, and walking. For those of you that can only bring one leg up, please do. For those of you that need to bend your knees, please do. Otherwise, stretch into that mound of the big toe, the inner heel, and that spreading of the outer foot. And press the feet away from you to come up into Shirshasana. Give yourself a moment to balance in the pose, and for today, part your feet. Press the outer wrists firmly down and lift your trapezius, lift your shoulders. As you do that, see is there space to lengthen the back of your neck and come just that little bit more onto the back of your head. For most of us, we go too far forward. Now press the outer elbow points down and squeeze your outer upper arms to the bone as if you're going to bring your inner elbows towards each other. So now you've firmed up the shoulders. Ease your lower side ribs back and spread your lower back ribs into the body. Spread your lower front ribs. Lift your buttocks through your calves and press the inner heel, the mound of the big toe, and that outer foot up. Squeeze your inner thighs out. And as you bring your legs together, come with the resistance of your inner thighs moving away from each other. So that'll make the outer thighs connect to the thigh bone. And breathe. Just like you were sitting in Svastikasana. Find a subtlety, a softness, a smoothness to the breath.
We're going to do 2 variations, Eka Pada Shirshasana. So pressing into the mound of the big toe, the inner heel and that outer foot. Extend through your right leg and bring your right leg away and down. Keep the left leg absolutely firm, those 3 points, pressing them up. Retract your outer hip, right hip into the socket. Move that right side of the lumbar back. Soften your toes. Raise the right leg up. Eka Pada, 1 foot in Shirshasana. Pressing those 3 points away, bring your left leg down. Retract that left hip into the socket. So it's like you move the left side of your lumbar spine subtly back. Lift the shoulders. Squeeze the outer upper arm to the arm bone. Soften the toes, the inner walls of the throat, the eyes. Raise the left leg up. From there, turn the whole of your right leg out. Firm up that left leg. Press into the mound of the big toe, inner heel, that outer foot. Stretching it. And from there, bring your right leg away and down. Retract the hip into the socket, that femur hip into the socket. Stretch the inner leg away. And raise the right leg up. And from there, turn the left leg out and take the left leg away and down. And from there, raise your left leg up. And just a few more moments in the pose. Find that stability, that sense of inner passivity, contentment, Sthira Sukham Asana. And from there, extend through those 3 points. Mound of the big toe, inner heel, that broad outer foot. Reach them away, coming to Urdhva. Press those 3 points away as you broadly take the abdomen back, and from there, come down. Walk your feet away. And coming to Adho Mukha Virasana. Rest your hands under your forehead. Let go. From there, come sitting up. And going to turn this way. Take your legs to the left for Bharadvajasana. If possible, try not to use a support today, but if you need to, just slip a brick under this left buttocks. Sorry, right buttocks. So legs to the left, your left ankle on top of the right arch of the foot. And from there, bring your left hand to wrap around the right knee, swing your right arm back, and now settle this left buttocks down. So make the left buttock heavy, make the right buttock light. Lift equally through the side of the trunk. Broaden your shoulders, your shoulder blades, and with your head in neutral, turn to look over your right shoulder. Now, deeply tuck that right inner shoulder blade into the back. Keeping the chin slightly tucked in. Keep that right inner shoulder blade tucked into the back. Turn your head a little more. And now, with the head in neutral, slowly turn your head. Look over your left shoulder. Now tuck that left inner shoulder blade into the back. Feel the lovely stretch and extension through that right side of the neck. Can you take it further, especially those of you that might have felt a bit of stress from Shirshasana? And then bring your head back to neutral. Come up onto all fours and take your legs to the right. So now, left foot underneath, right ankle on top of the right arch of the left arch of the foot. Right hand onto your left knee, left hand behind you. Sit this right buttocks down. So both sides of the trunk equally long. Broaden your shoulders. So you might even want to bend your elbows. And from there, tuck the chin in and turn your head. Look over your left shoulder. So roll that left shoulder down. Tuck that left inner shoulder blade into the back. Turn your head a little more. Tucking the chin in, keeping the head in neutral. Slowly turn your head. Look over your right shoulder. Now roll that right shoulder back and down. Tuck that right inner shoulder blade into the back and look a little further. See the lovely stretch, extension you get in the neck. Pull, push with your hands to go further. Releasing the neck. And then come back to center. And just cross your legs for a moment, whatever is comfortable for you. And sit in neutral. Broaden the collarbones, inflate these inner collarbones, spread the shoulders down the back, shoulder blades broadly down the back. And just bring your chin to chest in a quiet little Jalandhara Bandha. Back of the neck soft and long. Don't pull, don't push, just be. And then keeping the shoulders relaxed, lift your head ever so slightly to about 30, 45 degrees. Relax your shoulders, looking up. Let go any tension in the neck and the shoulders. And then release, let go. And come up, open your sticky mat for Adho Mukha Vrikshasana, full arm balance. Adho, downward, Mukha, face, and Vriksha is a tree. So in other words, that downward facing tree. Come to the wall for today. And take your hands about just more than, a little more than a finger's length away from the wall. And take your hands just ever so slightly wider. So if I have the middle of my wrist and the wrist, excuse me, parallel to the front edge of your mat. So the center for today is in line with that humerus going into the shoulder socket. So the hands slightly, just slightly wider than the shoulder. Root down through the root of the index finger, the root of the thumb. Rotate your inner elbows to look at each other. And then from there, squeeze your outer upper arms to the bone. Inner upper arms are going to take you that way. And remember, in Adho Mukha Vrikshasana, we want to come forward so that the forearms are at the vertical in this pose. For the moment, drop your head. Remember what you did in Shirshasana, how the abdomen went back. Spread your shoulder blades. Inhale and kick up with whatever is your favorite leg. Root down through the root of the index finger and come up. You're close to the wall. So scrub your heels to the wall and let go of your head. Let it hang. But now retract your upper arms into the shoulder socket. Side ribs, move them back. And from there, you can bring one foot to the wall, keeping the side ribs moving back. Look down at your index finger. Press into the mound of the big toe, inner heel, that outer foot. Lift the legs and see if you can balance and come down. Breathe, just be there. Uttanasana. Have your feet apart. Relax the hands, relax the shoulders. And we're going to repeat with the other leg. So you've done your favored leg. Now all those same actions, your favored leg is now educating the other one. And from there, abdomen back, broaden the shoulder blades, support your back ribs. Dig the shoulders into the shoulder socket, and from there, come up. Spread your lower front ribs. Cinch your side ribs back. Drop your head so that you can bring your armpits, your shoulder blades into the back body. From there, look down, keeping the trunk in neutral. Stretch into the mound of the big toe, inner heel, outer foot. Push down into the index finger. And coming down. Just relax, Uttanasana. So this is supposed to be all balancing poses, repeated over and over again. And you find the more you repeat them, the more the balance, the quietness will come. So give yourself some time in your own time to be able to expand on this particular practice. From there, set yourself up for Sarvangasana, shoulder stand, and we're going to be doing just like in Shirshasana, Ekapada Parshva. We're going to take the legs wide into Upavishta and Baddha Konasana, and then you're going to go down to the floor and do Parshva to the side. So do give yourself some space to be able to step your feet to the side on the floor. So take your supports. I have my 4 foams. My 2 blankets. And I put bricks behind so that I have something to rest my sacrum on before I go up and when I come down. So you can use your bricks, your bolster. It's just nice to be able to have something that supports your lower back rather than arching. Have your belt as wide as your shoulders. Remember, if you hook your thumbs, you can put it around the edge of the shoulders and come and lie down. So, taking first third of the neck onto that support, the other 2/3 will come off. Just give yourself a moment there. I often tuck my hands onto the floor, and tuck my shoulders underneath me. So that very first action that we did in the class of tucking those shoulders underneath you, pressing the shoulders down so the neck spine becomes light is exactly what you need here. Take your hands behind you, tuck your knees to your chest, broadly settle the abdomen back, and from there, take the legs up and over. Come into Halasana. Be on your tippy toes. And from there, for today, stretch your arms vertically up to the ceiling, your fingers in line with your shoulders, and stretching into your fingers once more, tuck your shoulders underneath you. So as you spread your collarbones, inflate them, spread your shoulders, and then press them down. So the shoulders, as you retract your upper arms into the shoulder socket, the shoulders become heavy and the neck spine becomes light. Once you've done that, turn your inner upper arms up and out. Put your belt just above your elbows and rotate the back of your armpit chest up and over towards your collarbones and retuck your shoulders underneath you. So you want to feel as if you're standing in the front heads of your shoulders. Interlock your fingers behind your back. Keep rolling your inner upper arms up and out as you press your outer upper arms onto the arm bone. Are you equally onto both shoulders? Are both your inner upper arms equally externally rotating? Cup your palms and reach the little finger side of your hand away from you. Now, for today, walk your feet a little further away from your head. Be on the tip of your toes. Feel how you go a little more onto the top of your shoulders. Hello, Susan. Lift your front thighs to your back thighs. And draw your outer hips, your inner groins, your inner thighs up. Can you walk your feet a little further away and be on the tops of your feet? Now press the tops of your toes into the floor and lift your outer hips up. Move your front thighs to the thigh bone. And can you roll a little more onto the top of your shoulders? So you're walking your feet away. Lengthen, soften the back of the neck. Press the top of the feet down. So you've gone further over the normal. Bend your elbows and place your hands as high up your back as you can. Use the cutting edge of your index finger thumb to release the skin, to lift the backwards. Flatten your hands on your back. Now, feel how the heel of the palm on your little finger side of your hand is heavily into your back. Press it more deeply into the back. So now the index finger can be light. For today, just come onto the tip of the toes where you are and only lift one leg up at a time, because you've really taken your hands well and high onto your back. Come into Sarvangasana. Arch your feet. Broaden the shoulder blades and move them like vast hands into your back. And lift up. Lift up the buttocks, the calves, the inner heel, the mound of the big toe. Spread to that place from the ball mound of the little toe to the outer heel. And lift that up. Soften the toes. Come into Sarvangasana. Now, resisting your inner thighs away from each other, bring your feet together, inner ankles together. Press your outer elbow points, outer upper arms, and outer shoulders down. Make the neck spine light. Lift the spine. Lift that space from the inner groin to the inner heel. Become tall, light. Release the lower jaw. Rest the tongue down and back. Gaze of the eyes softly into the heart center. Breath soft, smooth, subtle. Now keep pressing into that mound of the left big toe, inner heel, and that outer foot. Lifting it up, bring the right leg just to 90 degrees for today. Other days we might reach and go further, but feel how you retract that right femur head into the socket. Bring the lumbar spine on the right, subtly back, so the sacrum aligned. Raise the right leg up. Stretching into that right leg, bring the left leg down. Pressing into the mound of the big toe, inner heel, the outer foot. Soften the toes of both feet. Draw that left femur head into the socket. Align the sacrum. Compact the hips and lift up. And from there, raise your left leg up. Pause for Ekapada. Press that outer left foot away and down and bring your right leg away and down. Take it as far away and down as you can for today. But retract that right femur head into the hip socket. Press into those 2-3 points of both feet. Raise the right leg up. Stretching up, re-establish your pose, turn your left leg out, and take the left leg away and down. Right leg absolutely stable. Open the back of the left knee. And raise your left leg away and up. Turn both legs up. Now take your legs as wide as you can. Lift your buttocks to the ceiling. Lengthen your upper buttocks. Lengthen through your inner legs. Press them under the big toe, inner heel, that outer foot away. Press the elbows, the outer upper arms, the shoulders down. Bend your knees and bring your feet into Baddha Konasana. Ease the inner thighs away. Roll the inner knees out and press those 3 points of the feet into each other. Lift the upper buttocks. Lift the side seams of the trunk. Be aware of how the shoulders, the upper arms, the elbows, the base, and the support of your pose. Back of the neck is soft. Inner walls of the throat spacious. Pressing your feet together, stretch the legs up. Now extending those 3 points away from you. Reach the legs away to come down. Abdomen broadly back. Hover there for a moment. Abdomen back. Lift your upper buttocks. Stretch into the heels. Come all the way down, supporting your back. Take your feet wide. And now remove your belt and take hold of the big toes. With that mudra, the index finger, middle finger, thumb. Lift your outer hips. Press the shoulders down, neck, spine light. And then from there, put your hands on your back and step your left foot to your right foot. Can you take your feet a little further around the corner? Be equally on both big toes, equally on both second toes. Retract your femur heads into the socket. Squeeze your hips and lift up. Now turn your abdomen from right to left. As you breathe out, turn the abdomen right to left. Step your feet wide once more. Take your right foot to your left. Step your legs, feet around the corner a little more. Be on equally onto the tippy toes of both feet. Check which one you tend to more heavily lean onto. Lift onto the other one so the hips are aligned. Draw that left femur head back into the hip socket. Now, as you breathe, focus on the exhalation. Turn the abdomen left to right. And then from there, step your feet back to center. Stretch your arms back. Stretch into those 3 points of the feet. And from there, slowly, slowly. Front thighs to back thighs. So the knees remain fully open. Backs of the knees long and broad. Deepen the abdomen back as you stretch into those 3 points of the feet. So it's like a little game. The back of the legs want to move to the feet as the abdomen wants to move to that support behind you. And gradually, slowly, that drawing of the abdomen back will win the race. Bend your legs and keep your head moving back for the moment so that this area of the throat, the thyroid, the parathyroid, the larynx, the pharynx, all remain open.
In Jalandhara Bandha, even although we keep a spaciousness there, there's a sense of squeezing that area out. So now let the blood just gush, flush, feed into that area for a moment. Be there. From there, slide a little further over, so just the shoulders tuck under. Roll your shoulders back and down. So the base of the shoulder blades onto that support. And be here, taking the arms wherever might be comfortable for you, even the palms on the abdomen. Just relax. Let the finer muscles of the spine start to release. They've held you, they've supported you through the whole of this practice. Now give them time to rest and relax. And then roll over to your right, come up, and just for today, keep those foams as they are, and remove your bricks or that bolster support, and come and lie yourself down. I'm just putting a sticky mat on top, so maybe you can see a little more easily. Back flat on the floor, and cross your legs so that your buttocks on the floor and your legs loosely crossed onto that support. Tuck your shoulders underneath you for Shavasana. Settling your shoulders down, broaden the collarbones. Settle the outer shoulder blades down. Soften the inner shoulder blades into the back body, so that with a sense of softness, a sense of letting go, the heart area can soften and melt open. Soften the eyes, let them recede to the back and the base of the skull. Soften the ears, inner channels of the ears, becoming soft and spacious, for a sense of inner listening. Soften the brain cells away from the inner surface of the skull. And allowing the senses and the mind, like gentle streams, to flow down into the heart area. Resting there. Surrender. Soften. Let go completely. Keeping your eyes closed, just quietly, gently draw up your legs and cross your legs the other way for a moment. Feel the subtle difference in the groins, the hips, the buttocks. And once more, surrender to Mother Earth. Feel how she rises up to meet, support and hold you. And trusting in her support. Let go completely. Keeping your eyes closed, draw your legs up to center. And resting your feet into that support, rest the lumbar back. Abdomen soft. Extend your right arm over your head and roll completely onto your right. Keeping the head passive, press down with your left hand, your right hand, and come sitting on your support, feet on the floor in Sukhasana. Palms in Atma Anjali Mudra. Shoulders in line with the hips. Long, tall spinal column, supporting, holding you. Bow your head to your heart. Once more, making your own inner acknowledgements as you seal and close your practice for today. Deep sense of gratitude for our gurus, our own inner guru, the sadhana of the body and our sadhana of the practice. Namaste. Thank you. Have a wonderful day and enjoy.